M. Rusciano.
If a girl looks like me, I'll go for her. I mean, come on. You've got to respect that.
And Michael Lucas.
Like, it's not socially acceptable to go out without your pants on. We've all accepted the fact that pants are necessary.
This is Emsolation.
It's the perfect level of it absorbs you, you can obsess over it, and then still have a wonderful night's sleep.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
You're in Emsolation.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Emsolation. My name is Em Rusciano. I'm a stand-up comedian, a writer, a singer, a maximalist power queen, and together with my best friend since I was 11, screenwriter and 16-time ACTA Award nominee, Mr. Michael Lucas, I bring you this podcast every Thursday. Oh, it's going so well. It's so professional, and I knocked the microphone. I mean, guys, come on, that was my most professional entrance ever. God, shit, I ruined it. Anyway, we bring you this podcast every Thursday, and it's a podcast full of things that have just really floated our boats during the week. And this week, it's very movie heavy because movies are back, baby. I went to the James Bond premiere for Never Say Die, Time to Die. Never a good time. Oh, well, probably should have thought about that. I mean, I watched the thing. It went for 20 hours and I'm still recovering. No Time to Die. It's, of course, Daniel Craig's 5th Bond movie and final. He's made 5 in 15 years. James Bond is still hooking up with 20-year-old women, so not much has changed. It's got a good ending. Also, we talk about House of Gucci. That premiered also this week. Gaga is serving looks. I'm most excited about that. Today I'm wearing my Gucci jumper, the one I bought with my breakfast radio money when I was sad. I bought a lot of sad Gucci. Like, I had to sage all the Gucci I bought when I was earning breakfast radio money. For those of you who don't know what breakfast radio money is, like breakfast radio people, especially in Sydney, get paid ridiculous amounts of money. So much money. But it's to try and balance out the utter despair you end up in. Tired, self-loathing spirals, just never-ending self-hatred and tiredness. Anyway, I bought a lot of sad Gucci. I'm wearing Gucci today. This is the jumper I interviewed Chris Hemsworth in too. It's got some nice memories, not just bad ones. We also talk about Wicked. The movie is coming, of course, big casting announcements, and one particular person we're all hoping we don't get to see. You know who that is. We'll talk about that later. And Michael featuring in DNA, Australia's premier gay magazine. He was in there. It's very funny, actually. I think I'll have a breath now. How are you? How are you? Thanks for being here. If you're new, welcome. If you're a long timer, thank you. Thank you for coming back each week. I love our community. I was talking about us in an interview this week, actually, and just saying my favourite thing probably to come from the podcast, the greatest byproduct is the community that's sprung from it, of like-minded individuals, of delightful weirdos whose Venn diagram of interests cross with mine and Michael's, and it is a weird old Venn diagram of politics and penises and pop princesses and all the things in between, pop culture. And, you know, it's just nice. Someone used the Emsolation safe word in the wild. A woman was wearing a Maximalist Power Queen t-shirt and a fellow Emsolator spotted her. I think it was in Kmart, and went up and said John Peter Farnham, and they like embraced. No, they would have fist bumped. It's COVID. No one's embracing. But I love that. See? So good. I'm good. As I said, went to a movie premiere last night. I saw Shayna Blaze on the red carpet. Shayna Blaze, the designer from The Block. She is the ultimate glamour wog bogan. I love her so much.
It has got way too many cushions and way too many pillows, and it works, and I love it, and that's the bed I'd leap on. Skirt's a little bit short.
I'm a glamour wog bogan, obviously, so I do enjoy my own kind. She's delicious. I said to her, Shayna Blaze, I call her by a full name, because if you have a name like that, it needs to be said in its full. So Shayna Blaze, how is this season of The Block? I mean, I didn't watch it, but I did see a lot of headlines around it. She said, oh, my God, the drama. And then she said, but I swan in on Sundays, do my thing and leave. But my goodness, the online, it was next level. I said, oh, no, Shayna Blaze. And she was there with it, Shayna Blaze Jr., her daughter. Her name's not Shayna Blaze. But they were a fabulous duo on the red carpet. I was obsessed. I posed for an awkward photo on the red carpet, and I had my Gucci bag, another sad Gucci purchase, my amazing Gucci bag with the bamboo handle, and I had it facing the wrong way. Like, Chella said to me, oh, I can Photoshop it. I said, it doesn't matter. It's out there. What a loser. You know, I'm not great at red carpets. And I'm trying to be a better person and better public person. And you need to go to these things so people see you and then they look up your stuff and your profile grows and all those things. I'm really not very good at them. And I say weird stuff to journalists and I start in the middle of conversations and all the things I now know are related to being neurodivergent, but it still makes me nervous. I was nervous the whole time. Poor Scott. Scott was there and he's matching purple velvet. So that was kind of fun. I'm going to Melbourne Fashion Week opening on Monday night. Guys. Now, I do love fashion. I am a secret fashion collector and connoisseur amongst my family. I don't know how I got invited to that. I don't know. I mean, I'm grateful. I have to go on my own. They're like, oh, Em won't be able to bring a guest because of COVID. I was like, could you think of it? My manager's like, you don't have to go. Like, we know this is your worst nightmare. And I said, it's fine. I can do this on my own. So I'm going to be going. Can you think of anything more intimidating to show up to than the Melbourne Fashion Week opening night? Someone like me rocking in on my own. I'm wearing purple like Gaga wore to the Gucci premiere. My friend Lara, who is the head designer of House of Zhivago. I only wear Zhivago to red carpets. You know that. She's sending me a dress, a beautiful purple dress. So at least I'll look right. It'll be great. It'll be fine. I have had a interesting November thus far. Last week I did tell you about how tired I was. I battle in November for a reason I guess wasn't really ready to talk about last week, but I did have a bit of a moment in my garden. The baby that I lost 4 years ago, Ray, he was due this week. Oh God, I feel like all the grief and all the things you think you've overcome, when you start talking about it, you realise you've compartmentalised them a bit and they've just come and slammed me in my face. Okay. She'll swing from gaga to grief. He was due this week and when I brought him home from the hospital, because I didn't want him to go into medical waste, and if your baby is not a certain age, you usually don't get to take them home. But my mum really fought hard for me and my obstetrician, Lloyd, and they allowed me to bring him home. And if you've read my book or listened to the audiobook, I kind of detail what happened because it's not something that ever gets spoken about. And I remember being on online forums late at night, kind of wildly searching, how do I bring my baby home? He was only 15 weeks gestation and, not considered a person, although he very much was to me. And I did get a commemorative birth certificate, which did make a difference. So if you've lost a baby or if you've had a miscarriage, I do recommend doing it when you're ready. If you're in Melbourne, I think it happens in other states as well. So when I brought him home, we buried him under a tree, under a bottle brush tree, and it's never flowered. It's never flowered in 4 years. And I was out in the garden and there's one flower on it. And I did write about it this week, and just one beautiful, perfect bottle brush flower blooming the week he was due. And I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. So I kind of took that as a sign, and I was in the garden with Elio, and I realised that, if Ray didn't leave me, Elio would never have arrived. It's a strange place to occupy, and I've spoken about it before. When you look at the child that came after the child you lost, it's not an emotion that has a name. It's kind of like, bittersweet gratitude, I think is the best way to describe it. So, yeah, I was a bit wrung out by it, but also able to kind of just let a bit more of it go, because the grief and the guilt I carry just sit very close to the surface. And as you can see, if I just talk about it, I can access it and tap into it at 10 out of 10, as you all can. As you know, when you have a traumatic event happen, a traumatic loss, you can get on about your life. And as the years go by, it gets easier to function, doesn't it? And it gets further and further away from you. But the moment you meaningfully think of it, you can be just back there at a 10 out of 10, and that massive wave knocks you over. So, yeah, it's been some kind of week, but I'm feeling good about everything. And Scott has even noticed just I'm able to articulate how things are happening for me better. And I feel like I'm finally at 42 on top of my mental health and dealing with things and re-entering life, some capacity. There's lots of things to look forward to, obviously. So that's where I've been. God, what an intro. Imagine if this is the first time you're listening to Emsolation. Oh, yeah, I might have a listen. And you're just sitting here going, fucking hell, mate. Where am I? Well, that's the essence of this podcast. And it's why we have the community that we do. Because you get it. You'll swing with me. You'll come along for the ride. All right, that's enough from me. Yeah. God, I'm a bit sad now. That's okay. I'll just sit with it. I'll go and watch something. Real Housewives of Melbourne, I've been catching up. Chica, for those of you who've watched Chica, was at the Bond premiere last night. Oh, I love Chica. Gina Liano is obviously my favourite housewife of all time. Like, I even love her more than Lisa Vanderpump.
Insignificant ass hair.
I really feel like I need a side project to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because I have so much to unpack, but Michael doesn't watch it, and I know a lot of you don't watch it, but, like, I still I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying I still like Erica. Oh, I mean, come on. She's a problematic diva.
It's expensive to be made.
I hope she didn't know anything. I hope. She put on the performance of a lifetime during those. She was rock solid, man. 10 out of 10. She did not back down. She did not waver. She didn't buckle once. Anyway, all right, I'm going. Ah, the joys of having a brain that's wired in the way that mine is, huh? Thank goodness. Play the music.
M. Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
Joining me now is 16-time ACTA Award nominated Michael Lucas. The last time we spoke, it was only how many?
10. But
10?
And both times we've spoken, I've needed to point out that the nominations don't go to me directly. It's just for the show that I worked on.
I don't hear that. My brain doesn't hear that.
And the ACTA award goes to...
As far as I'm concerned, Michael Lucas's name will be called 16 times at the award ceremony being held on December the 8th at the Sydney Opera House. Very exciting. And you've had some heat this week. We're going to talk about this first. You've had some heat. You're in your first appearance in gay magazine DNA. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It does feel like a milestone.
Yes, I was quite surprised, actually, because I'd absolutely no idea he liked cock.
Now, tell me about, this is a big deal. I remember Joel once did DNA and he had to train for 6 months and he didn't eat carbs and he was existing on, protein shakes and egg white omelettes and he was training 9 hours a day. Tell me about your preparation for your DNA spread.
Oh, man. Not only was it zero, the picture that they took was from in the middle of the shoot of the newsreader when I was really dosed up on that on-set catering. And DNA, for those of you who don't know, but I suspect many of the listeners of Emsolators will.
No, do the reset. Yeah.
It's... You would have seen it in the news agency because it catches your eye because there is always a very buff, ripped, oiled. It's just basically cum gutters for days on the cover of that magazine.
Yeah, cum gutters, for those of you who don't know, are the oblique muscles at the bottom of the abs of a very muscular man. And in our world, Michael and I coined that phrase. I'm sure it's around everywhere else. That's what they're referred to as. It's quite an interesting term. I just realised having said it out loud, but that's okay. Yeah, cum gutters for days.
Yeah. And they interviewed me about the newsreader, and it was such an honour. And because they do have serious articles as well. And,
do they? It's not like
They
Playboy.
do.
It's not gay Playboy.
Well, Playboy has serious articles as well. But anyway, no one wants to be in there for the serious article, though. Let's face it. But I was, and it was a lovely interview. And of course, they were asking for a picture, and I said, "Oh, I'm sure the ABC publicist or whatever that will be able to set you up with some." Then I get the magazine.
You look like a disco pirate. I think that's the best way to describe you. You're in a very blasphemy kind of black shirt that wouldn't be, misplaced on Pirates of the Caribbean, and a vest.
Well,
a vest?
Yeah, my article came right after the cover boy, whose name was Jake Ryan, who's a male escort, and he was photographed in sort of mesh white wet underwear that he was sort of pulling off, and it was a bit of a, let's just say it was a bit of a wet t-shirt situation, but for your cock. And
it was a wet cock contest.
It really was.
I mean, if you're going to wear white mesh underwear, you want it to be wet. I mean,
you do.
The impracticalities of white mesh underwear. Let's talk about the stains to begin with. I mean, if I even walk, I get a skid mark. So I don't even know. Jake, hats off, Jake, because he maintained the integrity of the mesh white underwear, and I don't know many people who could do that. Also, I would have little bits sticking out like the skin they put on. I know I say this a lot, on a rack of lamb. You know when they wrap lambs.
I think if that was happening on his penis, that would be deemed as an attractive thing. If it was bursting out like a rack of lamb, you kind of want
like
that.
little
you kind of want your rack of penis.
Rack of penis
without the sprigs.
There was no rosemary. Nary a sprig of rosemary to be seen by my delicate eyes. But yeah, I feel like white mesh underwear is kind of like the prerequisite to be in DNA, isn't it? Like that just comes with the
Pretty
territory.
much, and he was really delivering, and
he was hard body and oiled.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you got about 6 pages of him talking about his professional life and how he pleases his clients, and then picture after picture after picture, and then you turn the page, and there's a headline drama with an exclamation mark. And this picture of me as the DJ in the newsroom where I had like a really pointy mullet and a mustache, and I was wearing what can only be described as a silver parachute vesty sort of hoodie thing, and big sort of black buffy pants. And I'm just sort of standing there. It's the least, everything about it is unsexy, including my pose. I'm just like going, it's just... Oh, but it was a lovely interview.
It was stunning. I'm so proud of you. And it's so on brand that was your DNA Mag debut.
Yeah.
It's just for you, the theatre kid. It remained true. It remained true to who you are in your soul.
Oh,
if you had got
right.
buff and wore like mesh, it would have felt weird.
It would. No, it was right. It felt right. And then after if people were just dying when they were reading my boring article, then the next one was an article called Sex and the Sailor, where and the byline was, this month we go to where sexual adventures flourish in lawless places. So there's just a little bit of non-sex with me and then just back to it. So proud.
It was a sex sandwich.
That's
sandwich,
right.
and you were the meat. And
I don't think you can call me the meat. I was the lettuce. It was a
you were the alfalfa.
sandwich.
You were the alfalfa sprouts. Which kind of look like white mesh. So it's okay. It's okay. All's well that ends well. Check it out in all news agencies. I don't know, wherever you get DNA. Or we'll just put it up online. Marcella will put it up. Keeping on brand with camp dramatic things.
Feels right.
I'm just going to take a breath. Wicked, the movie, has finally been set into motion.
Sharing one wonderful one shot.
The wizard will see you now.
It was announced this week.
It was. It was a big moment, and of course, as everyone would expect, I raced to text it to Em. She was already across it, of
Already
course.
across that.
She'd already told Shella.
You did beat Shella to telling me. You're both in this.
I love because you'd found it out yourself.
True. I'd already told Shella. Okay, so I'm just going to do a reset. Like, for those of you who don't know, in 2003, a little musical by the name of Wicked flew into our hearts and minds, and it's the only show that I have actually seen on Broadway. That's the only one. And I saw it by myself. I just turned 30. I was there for some weird MasterChef cross-promote for Channel 10. That's when Channel 10 really had money, really had a budget. And I'd been mugged. I had my wallet had been stolen. And my mum and dad had wired me money so I could buy my ticket for Wicked. It's amazing. And it is...
It was a good choice for your only one. Really good choice. Life-changing.
Yeah. It was life-changing. So it's based on Gregory Maguire's novel Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, and it's centred around Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda the Good. Now, it's essentially the Wicked Witch of the West origin story.
You didn't see Adina, did you?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay, sorry.
God,
Sorry.
No, She was long gone by then.
Okay, sorry.
No. Idina Menzel played Elphaba. So they meet at university and they intensely dislike each other and loathing, unadulterated loathing.
There's such strange acceleration.
And then they become friends. Popular. We're gonna be popular.
I know about popular.
And then they go on a trip to Oz and they discover that, in fact, the wizard is corrupt as fuck. And Elphaba's like, I want to expose him. And Glinda's like, can't we just let it slide? And then choices have to be made. And so their friendship is really put on the line because everyone goes after Elphaba because the wizard wants to squash her. I've heard it said some people come into your life for a reason, but ultimately Elphaba has to flee because there's a witch hunt. And so if you care to find me,
This is
look
an
to the
amazing-
western sky. Yeah. So and everyone knows how it ends.
We always make Em do that at karaoke, and we absolutely know that when it gets to those high notes, she's going to really be. It's just something's going to
it's not
happen.
out
The
of my range.
spleen is going to burst.
Oh, hashtag bitch does not have the range.
She doesn't have the range.
I cannot, but I'll tell you who does have the range. The woman who's been cast as Elphaba, Cynthia Erivo.
Have you ever thought that the whole show is a metaphor for our relationship?
Yeah, 100p. 1,000,000%. Although, yeah, no, it is. Although,
You just dress more like Glinda, though. That's the only thing.
true. But also, would I be more likely to expose a corrupt government? Yes, you would want to keep the peace.
Yeah, my God, I've really come off badly in this because it's like I'm the peacekeeper, toe
Yeah.
the line establishment, and yet, frankly, I still wear the boring black. So I'm taking the worst of both.
But Cynthia Erivo has been announced as playing Elphaba, and just the idea of getting to hear Cynthia sing Defying Gravity is giving
Oh,
me...
yeah, I know. I just can't even imagine what we're going to need to do to prepare for when that song goes live. Em's going to need to be in a very safe place. She may lose bladder control. I don't know what's going to happen. There'll be tears.
that
There'll be
moment.
liquids of some description. I know that.
all orifices, full tilt. Just that moment of that I just butchered, dun, 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 and Cynthia just rising.
There was
Anyway.
no choice that could have been more exciting to you. I thought about it afterwards and I truly can't think of anyone. Like Jennifer Hudson, no. It's Cynthia all the way.
Yes, all the way. And look, for those of you who don't know Cynthia, I mean, where have you been? Tony, Emmy and Grammy award-winning, just needs the Oscar for the EGOT, and she's so young and she will get it. Nearly got
Partly
it for
for
Harriet.
this.
Yeah, The Colour Purple on Broadway. She was in Harriet, Bad Times at the El Royale, which is a very underrated film. I enjoyed the quirkiness of it. And Widows, one of my all-time favourite singers. Obviously, the original role was Idina Menzel's on Broadway. And then Glinda has been announced. Controversially, I've noticed on a few fan forums, Ariana Grande playing Glinda the Good Witch.
Oh, look, I hesitated when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
You needed to remind me of Ariana's CV because I was a bit like, I mean, can she act? Is she?
Yes.
It's a very comedic role made famous here by Lucy Durack, who
Mm-hmm.
an absolutely iconic Glinda.
Didn't miss a show in something like 12 years.
Oh, severe morning sickness.
Yeah.
Running
Didn't
off
miss a
stage to
show.
vomit.
Did not miss. The understudy did never get a go. She never got a go, ever. Durack is known, and she's a friend of ours, Durack is known as she'll just show up. She could literally have been decapitated and she'll be there in full makeup, ready to go on. She's just like, oh, we love that. But
Love it.
Ariana Grande actually started on Broadway in a show called 13. And then she used to be in a show called Victorious with bright red hair, which Odette, my middle daughter, loved. And she played Kat, and she was very funny, very quirky, a bit ditzy.
I love karaoke. Dad! What? Shh! Your doctor said you weren't supposed to talk. He didn't say I couldn't say.
And there's a lot of Kristen Chenoweth obviously played Glinda on Broadway originally. There's a lot of Kristen about Ariana. Like, it's that little kind of squeaky cheekiness, which is right.
And I was being sick and I kept smelling something.
And I thought, what is that horrible smell? Horrible smell. I had lit my own hair on fire.
And Ariana's dated SNL comics. She's been in there quite a few times. I watched that video where she said she hated America and it made me laugh. So I just think,
No, she just sort of said, she just bagged out Americans. She didn't say she hated America. Let's be... That's
I
not
don't care.
inflammatory. No, but it was great. It made me really feel
great.
connected to her.
Directed by John M. Chu, who directed In the Heights.
And Crazy Rich Asians, which
Crazy
we
Rich
loved.
Asians, tick, amazing. In the Heights.
Look, it was a bit long, and I'm sure Wicked will be long, but we'll be there for it.
Yeah, we support it. No, this will be great. This will be great. And produced by Mark Platt, who is Ben Platt's father. So I'm hoping Ben's going to be in it because he does need to redeem himself.
Anyone
off of
you're
Dear Evan
hoping
Hansen.
won't be in it, Em?
We move to the people that I didn't even have to spark this movement. Obviously, if a musical movie's been announced.
You've been laying the groundwork for this movement for years. That's like, you're like Trump saying you didn't start the January 6th riots. Sure,
Right.
okay, mate, you just built the building that is
Right.
now on fire. Sure.
I will not have you besmirch my good name. How dare you? How dare you accurately describe the truth? Obviously, if a musical movie's been announced, James Corden has shown up. It's like when the Commissioner Gordon needs Batman and the thing goes up in the air and Batman's there. It's like James Corden just knows. And immediately, all the Wicked fandom have got together and started a petition at change.org. And all it says is this: James Corden in no way, shape or form should be in or near the production of Wicked the movie. That's pretty much it. That's all it says.
Oh.
At the time of recording, 73,230 people have signed.
Sadly, and most of the time, we have no interest in what's going on with you.
Oh, my God.
I felt initially a bit weird in my ethics about the pylon. It was okay when it was just me quietly doing it in like a quiet way on our obscure podcast with 50,000 listeners. But when it started hitting mainstream, I was like, ugh. But then I was reminded how gross he was about the victims of Harvey Weinstein and made those terrible jokes. And then I just kind of thought about how he dropped the special effects team of Cats in the shit, saying it was their fault, the movie was bad. And then I bounced back.
You just got yourself a little bit of a James Corden hatred top up, which was only a couple of clicks away.
He will absolutely be in this movie. I have no doubt. Do you have any doubt?
Oh, I do, just because I think people would take note of this. I mean, every producer and everything like that has a Google alert set for their productions, and they'd be seeing this, and he has been in a lot. And I feel like if I were him, I wouldn't want to do it, just based on like, you need to just step away, have a break.
See, that's the instinct you're assuming he has. And there's a difference between you and James Corden. You know how to read a room. You know how to take the temperature and be like, you know what, maybe I don't need to put my mitts all over this. No. That seems to be like a call to him, a call to insert himself. I mean,
it's like him approaching a parked car in one of the sidewalk Broadway performances. Some people would say, don't start thrusting, not him.
No, he will. But I think what everyone needs to know, if you're not really into musicals, Wicked was like the Hamilton of musicals of its time, because it was the new, up until that point, it was the same old musicals being recycled over and over again.
Phantom, Les Mis. We hadn't moved on from there. Oh, Lion King and the Disney ones had come in.
Yeah.
But other than that, we hadn't had an original new one. And then Wicked.
Yeah, and it was huge. And the Wicked fandom is nuts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be John M. Chu making any mistakes on this. Like, this is, if I were him, I would create like a think tank of the most ardent Wicked fandom leaders and make sure they're involved in the creative process. I really, really am worried for him, because this is intense. That I don't want anyone to underestimate how much the Wicked fandom love Wicked, me included. And I'm probably at about 10%.
Yeah.
The people that are at about 90, they never miss it. They fly around the world going to see the show.
Yeah.
That's their full-time job.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting.
Poor John M. Chu. But no, I feel like he's gonna work hard, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
Oh God! And I feel like Ariana. I feel confident now that you've explained to me where she's come from, and that she might be a good actress and everything like that. I don't know. And
It'll be
also,
okay.
it was one of those ones. like, it's not a musical like, for example, Cats. When you hear it, you're like, how the hell are they going to do that? And the answer was they shouldn't have done it.
They did
It's
not.
like
They
that.
should never have.
It's not like that. Wicked, you watch it and you can easily see it's a classic buddy movie story with a bit of an epic sweep. And it is actually, the stage production of it takes its visual cues from the movie, from the original 1939 Judy Garland movie. And so it is actually quite easy to imagine how you could turn it into a movie, and it feels like it's been sitting there for a long time. And God,
mate,
may the force
everyone,
be with
Leah
them.
Michelle, Nicole Scherzinger, so many women have been linked to this production, Shoshana Bean. So it's like, this is huge. But also they have the book to fall back on, don't forget. They have the source material. It was based on the book. So the script, the guy who wrote the playbook and the music is involved with the movie, but they have the script, they have the book to go back on when they're scripting. So I'm sure it's going to be fine. They haven't even started filming. It was that's quite, am I right in saying that's rare that you see the casting call happen on Instagram? Because, like, the way it happened was Cynthia found out and pictures were taken of her when she was told she was cast.
Yeah, normally it would just be sort of like a press release and then the Instagram would happen afterwards.
I love that.
But I could absolutely imagine, social media and particularly the social media of cast members is becoming more and more and more key to everything. And so, but also they were smart. It hit the right tone, and the exchange between Cynthia,
the flowers, the pink flowers and the green
Ariana.
flowers.
Yeah, it was the right way to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't care. I'm so excited. Speaking of excitement, House of Gucci. This is a very movie-heavy podcast
It really
today.
is. Movies are back.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's good. House of Gucci officially premiered last night, and the reviews have just started coming in. But the first thing I want to talk about is what the fuck Adam Driver was wearing on the red carpet.
Lightsabers and helmets is kind of my job.
I don't understand how this flew with anyone, especially Gaga. You've got Salma Hayek in this amazing gold lame number. Gaga, of course, in purple chiffon with bedazzled arms, stockings, let's call them gloves, and amazing platform shoes. You've got Jared Leto in
Head to toe.
Aqua velvet,
Yeah.
aqua green, azure. Looking amazing. And then Adam Driver in a suit that looked like he picked it up from Roger David, ill-fitting, standing like the biggest nerd. And it was honestly like Dad was chaperoning the cool kids to the school formal.
I've never felt more connected to him. It feels like the kind of thing that I would do a lot. In fact, the Gaga Adam Driver, I feel like there are pictures of us that look like that. And she came in her Gucci dress,
the entrance.
The entrance was amazing, but also she had, I believe, pre-organised a wind machine so that she could come and stand in position and then throw her. What are they?
Train.
No, but it was the arm things. It was like these long arm
No,
things.
she was grabbing the back of her train and throwing it up.
Okay.
She didn't have, it was a short sleeve dress with the bedazzled chiffon gloves.
Yeah.
But it was the train that she was throwing up. And I was watching videos of the press shots happening, and she would make them stop. And then she would command them to make sure the shutter was going as her dress was up in the air. And she was totally
stage managing it beyond belief, and I respect her for it. But then I also understand him, who just picked out something and rocked up.
It's not okay. I want to start from the basis of I'm an Adam Driver stan. Like, that man can do no wrong in my eyes. You love him, I love him, my daughters love him. For all different reasons. Odie loves him because of Star Wars. Chella and I love him from Girls and every single thing he's ever done. And it's just, I saw the photos and I was mad. I was shouting at Scott. I was just...
He would have been offered things as well.
Of course.
Absolutely. So it was. It actually, when I say it was a last minute thing, it would have been a refusal, and this is what I'm going to do. But I think it's about how he wants to define himself, and that he doesn't want to be drifting into, I don't know. His tastes are very art house. I mean, I know he does appear in advertising campaigns and everything like that, but I think he sees himself.
He was a sexy centaur,
yeah.
In a Burberry perfume commercial. Now we've got standards on the Gucci red carpet when you have the entire archive at your disposal. Now you have standards. I just think play nice, play with the team, promote the movie. It irrationally annoyed me. But what didn't irrationally annoy me is Gaga is killing us with the promo looks. Every time she shows up.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. And it's going to go for so long because it's going to segue straight into the Oscar campaign. And so you're basically going to get Gaga doing appearances. We haven't even got to the international premieres yet. I mean, is there an Italian premiere?
There has to be an Italian premiere. There has to be.
Rome. Oh, my God.
Although the Italians aren't happy with the movie because of the accents.
Father, Son, and House of Gucci.
Well, fair enough. I'm pretty sure they'll still manage to organise a premiere.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Speaking of, Gaga recently did an interview in British Vogue, and this is my favourite part of it. So Gaga plays Patrizia Reggiani, and Adam Driver plays Maurizio Gucci, and it's basically the plot of how she had him killed. And she did an interview with British Vogue, and she said, "It is 3 years since I started working on it, and I will be fully honest and transparent. I lived as Patrizia for 1.5 years, and I spoke with an accent for 9 months of that, this included off camera." So can you imagine she gets up in the morning? "I will have my Weet-Bix with some milk." She probably doesn't eat Weet-Bix. "I'll have my coffee black, please." Father, son, hang on, I have to get into character. Father, son, House of Gucci. Good morning.
It's a good thing that you didn't meet her in this phase because she would have become your best friend and then you would have had to find out that none of it was real.
It's so true. She said, then went on to say, "It was nearly impossible for me to speak in the accent as a blonde, so I instantly dyed my hair and I started to live in a way whereby anything I looked at, anything that I touched, I started to take notice of where I could see the money. I also started taking photographs as well. I have no evidence that Patricia was a photographer." "But I thought as an exercise and finding interest in her life that I would become a photographer. So I took my point and shoot camera everywhere and I noticed how Patrizia," she's referring to herself, "loved beautiful things. If it wasn't beautiful, I deleted it."
Oh, so wild. I had not realised that hair colour had such a profound effect on vocal cords. Amazing. I'm just desperate to know what would happen to your voice if you went blonde.
Well, I have gone blonde, nothing but no. I've never thought about it. So
You
now
didn't
this
start
time I
cooing like Marilyn? You didn't gain 2 octaves of you?
I need to, like Christina. No, I absolutely now that I know, I respect this process. I'm going to start walking around talking like a Gaga and Gucci. I'm going to say, "Scott, fuck off. Where's my eggs? I am so tired. Children, please do the fucking washing. I am tired. House of Gucci."
Taking pictures of, and if you can't filter it to make it beautiful, delete.
It is not. It is ugly. It is ugly to my eyes. Delete. Die. The thing is, I am related to people with Italian accents, and they don't sound like that. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, it does not. We are going to, the campier, the better. And the reviews already have landed.
Tell us about the reviews. Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm going to say they were actually very much what I imagined. They're very mixed. They're basically, it sounds like it's a bit of a hot mess. That's basically, but consistently, Gaga is over the top but amazing. And that's what I want to hear. That's all I really care about. Mm-hmm. The movie goes for so long, and they say at times it's pretty incoherent, and they say it's tonally all over the place. People are very divided about whether Jared Leto is giving a good performance or an awful performance.
I read one where they said it felt like Al Pacino was the only one who knew what movie he was in. That was my favourite review.
Well, Gaga didn't even know who she was as a person by that stage, so that's not surprising.
I don't care. It's hitting cinemas November 24th, and I will be showing up to my local Westfield Hoyts head to toe in Gucci. I'm wearing Gucci now. I'm wearing my Gucci jumper that I interviewed Chris Hemsworth in. It's my favourite designer house. She's my favourite, one of my favourite divas. I love Adam Driver. I don't care. I'm already giving it 5 out of 5. I haven't even seen it.
And if one day you accept a role as an over-the-top Italian woman, I just want you to know I will support you living as that. It may test your husband, it may test your children, but there will be me. Me and Elio will still be there.
I'm really appreciative that you don't think I already do live as an over-the-top Italian woman. How sweet. I'm glad that you think there's another gear. I mean, that's a challenge. Guys, there's another gear. Apparently I'm only in 4th. Imagine Scott's somewhere downstairs listening to this podcast record, quietly crying, I am beautiful.
No, I mean, I would like to say you could remove the little half filter that you still have left, but let's face it, that went a long time ago. So I don't quite know what would happen.
Oh my goodness. Before we move on to Dan Andrews and Brett Sutton fanfiction, I just want to briefly touch on another movie. I have to talk about it because I went to the premiere, and the people who ran the premiere are running the House of Gucci premiere, so we got to keep in sweet. I saw the new James Bond film, No Time to Die.
The world's moved on, Commander Bond.
You were 00?
2 years. So stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee.
I thought you two would get along.
Much delayed. It was meant to come out before the pandemic, and now it's 2 years, but it's finally here.
Yeah, it felt like it went for the length of the pandemic.
Oof.
Oh my God. It's an hour too long. It is an hour too long. I have to tell you, I know Phoebe wrote it. Phoebe Waller-Bridges wrote it.
I think she just did a light rewrite. I think she just sort of added some spicy dialogue.
And you could tell? Yep, you could definitely tell that she had put a filter on it. There were some really funny gags and it didn't take itself as seriously as the other James Bonds, but he's still courting women who are 20 years old and he's in his mid-50s. That still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The ending is, I'm not going to give it away, it's appropriate and touching. I cried at the end of this movie, I'll tell you that.
To be fair, it's a bit of a hair trigger when it comes to you, Cry. I don't know that that's such an achievement.
Oh, for Bond.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I said online, I give it 3 Viagras out of 5. And if you love the Bond franchise, you won't be disappointed. But, I mean, it was very long. Okay, we're going to go away, recompose, mainly me, and then we're going to come back and talk about some Australian politics sexual fan fiction that has crossed my desk.
So on brand.
M. Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
So this was sent to me by an Emsolator, actually. It's quite exciting.
I just laugh that you say crossed my desk, as though people raise and go, it's the Ozpol erotic fan fiction you were asking for.
Exactly,
and you just take
exactly
your
what
glasses.
happened. It's my electronic desk, e.g. the DMs of the Emsolation Instagram account, where Marcella says, look at this. Yeah, no, we get sent content a lot. It's great. People get it. We've got an army of producers out there. We don't even have to pay. I mean, I don't pay Chella. I mean, I actually do every now and then. So crikey.com, you have to thank Cam Wilson for this incredible, investigative journalism. Thank you, Cam.
At its finest. Thank you, Cam.
Oh, this is the greatest content Crikey's produced, I think. I mean, obviously they're trying to trip the Prime Minister up and we respect them and all of that. So there's a website called Archive of Our Own, and you can literally type any TV show character. Oh, there's newsreader sex fan fiction, by the way.
I have heard that
you can't read it. You can't read it because you don't want to. You can't. But I can tell you, I have read it, and sexy stuff.
There's a lot of sexual frustration in the newsreader, a lot of and a lot of. So I'm not surprised that people have taken it upon themselves to provide the sexual sequences that I denied.
And as a writer, what an honour for you. Sure, you've got 20.
Yes.
Sure, you've got 29,000 ACTA award nominations, but.
Oh no! I know, absolutely. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's so bittersweet because there is no high. I could not be more honoured, and yet at the same time I can't read it. But moved
if you type
to tears.
if you go to Archive of Our Own and type in Brett Sutton or Dan Andrews, there is a lot of people who have decided that those two are in some kind of relationship, and we're here for it. To be honest,
totally.
Now,
I really liked the choices that they made with how to slowly build the tension and lead us into it.
But also, it feels like Dan's in a relationship with a few people when you read some of them.
Well, I wouldn't use those terms.
The first one I came across was called Damn Andrews.
Already genius.
Have you got it there in front of you? Have you got it?
Yeah.
Do you want to read the summary?
All right, the summary is...
Do it in a fan fiction voice. Yeah.
What, is that just like saucy voice?
Yeah,
I'm
saucy
so
voice.
bad at it. This will be why I didn't get that.
I won't make eye contact with you, okay?
Undeniable feelings are brought to light during the struggles and turmoil of lockdown. Will Dan Andrews be able to admit these feelings without losing the adoration of his people? Will Gladys ever be able to escape lockdown? Nobody knows the best way to handle COVID, especially with the spreading Delta variant. But how much harder will it be when our leaders struggle to handle their spreading feelings? Well done for not going the third leg and say spreading legs, because that felt like it was spreading cheeks, whatever it was going to be. Felt like it was on the cards.
It's just, and like some of the fiction, it's so great. There's a certain bite in the cool winter air this evening, Dan notices, wishing he'd worn his North Face jacket. He pulls at the cuffs of his blazer as an assistant straightens his collar, staring ahead the day's COVID stats on his mind. Luckily, his old friend Brett is right beside him. Peering up at Dan, he stares. He shares his signature smile, which Dan can see despite his mask. He's glancing to the side. Jerome. Ah, yes! Gives him a thumbs up, relaxing his nerves.
It's like, it starts, you think, oh, they've turned it, it's a love story, and oh, it's a love triangle. And then by the end of it, you're like, this is a love, like, octagon. It's just unbelievable how much sexual tension Dan's having with everyone in this.
Oh, yeah. Because later on, Dan unlocks his phone and he's kicking back drinking Brett's homebrew. Yeah, Brett homebrew's beer, guys. And Dan's drinking it, loving that he's so close to Brett in such an intimate way. And he looks at his phone and he sees 2 messages. One's from Peter Credlin. No, one's from Brett, who shares a picture of him with Jerome, both smiling. Dan feels a pang of jealousy in his chest. He's watched their relationship bloom and now he's all alone. Then he sees a second message. It's from her, Gladys.
I know. Wild. I love a bisexual love triangle or quadrangle or whatever we're in.
Do you know what Gladys says? Have you got it? Read it.
It's a short text, but the fact that she sent it at all means the world to Dan. It reads, "You're wrong if you think Scotty is going to give you more vaccines than us." Dan locks the phone and holds it to his chest, grinning as he takes another swig of Brett's home-brewed beer. Oh, how he adores her teasing.
Oh, the attention to detail. I'm so happy that this exists.
And the subtlety, I want to say. Yeah. Because often fan fiction does not go the subtle route. And as I said, I haven't read the newsroom run, but I hear that it's not, you wouldn't describe some of
There's no subtle roots in the fan fiction. That is for sure.
But this one, this is really, it's quite internal and intellectual. It's not, or is it just sort of laying the groundwork so he's got a long way to travel, or she?
And who's Dan going to pick? You know, like who does he end up with? Jerome, Brett, Gladys, Peter. Peter Credlin gets a lot of mentions, you know, so.
I think Peter Credlin would be sort of like in the mid part of the story would be the darkest moment, but then ultimately I feel like we all know it's got to end up with Brett.
We won't stop in terms of looking for ongoing improvements, obviously.
Yeah, well, I think you've just shown your hand there, doll. Doesn't Gladys deserve a solid, dependable boyfriend after the Daryl debacle? Oh, I've got to type in Daryl and I've got to type Gladys into this website. I have to go because I need to type Gladys into this website.
You just click on the hyperlink.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. And I do encourage people to read the Newsreader fan fiction because it's amazing. All right, well, that's it for us this week. Where are we at with your actor's outfit? I think I may have persuaded you to wear Gucci on the red carpet. Is that where we're at?
Well, in a staggering twist that it does feel like an amazing compromise that if only US Congress could learn from us. It feels like Em has permitted for me to wear my wedding pants, just be clear, not the whole outfit, but the pants, if I match it with a tailored Gucci blazer.
And a brooch.
And a brooch.
Yeah. Very important that we have the Gucci B or maybe, the B or maybe, I think the B. And then some kind of amazing shirt. And it will depend where we go with the shirt, depending if we go like with a velvet or a jacquard. And do we want to have like the Gigi, the Maman logo, or do we want to just go like velvet? And if we go no logo, that's why we need the brooch. Because it signals to everyone, this isn't a velvet jacket from Roger David. This is Gucci. Look at the brooch.
And are we doing what colour? Is it a colour or is it black?
No, I'm really, really going to push you heavily toward the red velvet.
The red?
The one that Gwyneth Paltrow wore the female version of to the Gucci parade that just happened. So That would be lovely. Oh, the Goop Christmas list has come out. I didn't even get to that today. We'll do that next week. It's amazingly ridiculous. But yeah, no, I'm feeling red Gucci power on the red carpet. You're nominated 16 times. You solely
Again, not
shot,
me personally.
directed, produced, acted in this show. It was a one-man show, The Newsreader, starring Michael Lucas.
Wrote the music, sound mixed it.
Did everything, researched it. So I feel like this is the time. And this jacket will be an investment. We'll archive it. It's like, you obviously haven't seen how much they are, but you can afford it. You can afford it. You can afford it. You can.
Oh,
It's
God,
investment.
I dread to think.
It's great. All right. Yay. He's wearing Gucci, the red velvet, I think. All right. Chat next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Emsolation.
Well, that's it. Hey, I have a very special announcement that I forgot to do in the intro. So hopefully you guys all listen to the outro. I don't know. But we are going to be doing a Very Emsolation Christmas live spectacular. Yes, and you're all invited. No matter where you live in the world, you can attend because we're doing a live stream. Initially, I was going to do just like a live thing in Melbourne, but I'm still nervous about coronavirus. It doesn't feel right. I don't want anyone to be in any sort of compromised position. So Michael and myself and Chella and Ben and Liam, we're all going to be in a studio. We're going to stream it out live on the World Wide Web. And the tickets are between $5 and $25. You decide what you want to pay. It's a sliding scale. It's up to you guys. All the information is now on the Emsolation Instagram page. We do have a limit of how many people can attend. We're putting a cap on it at 5,000. So I know there's 50,000 of you, so get in quick. Buy your ticket and you'll be able to watch us on Sunday, the 12th of December at 8:30 p.m. live in your lounge room. You can interact with Michael and I. You can ask questions. And my dad, Vincey, will be there. I'll be singing Christmas carols. I'll be singing some Mars Singer songs. It's just going to be like a 2-hour spectacular. What else would you want to be doing on a Sunday night? Also, if you do buy a ticket, we're going to keep it online for a week after. So if you can't be there live, you will be able to watch it or just watch it again and again for the week following. Very exciting, a Very Emsolation live Christmas spectacular. I can't even get the title right yet, but it's given me, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. It's going to be like a regular Emsolation recording, but you're going to be able to watch us do it. And then that recording will also go out on Spotify on the usual Thursdays. So that's all very exciting. It's at the Emsolation Podcast Instagram. All the information, all the tickets are there. All right. Thanks for being here this week. I also want to remind you to keep interacting with our social media. The algorithms have all been changed. Instagram and Facebook are deciding that maybe our content's too spicy, so you're not going to be seeing it. So if you're in the Facebook group, don't put content in there. Like people's posts. We always look in there for content ideas for the show too, to keep sending articles and things that you find. It's really helpful. And also with the Instagram, make sure you're liking and sharing. Marcella, my daughter, who's the social media captain, puts lots of effort into it. And also on my Instagram too. So just deliberately go and check the accounts every couple of days and interact with it all. So, Facebook and Instagram know that we're okay with you. The newsletter will be going out as usual today at lunchtime with all the information on the live events, all the links to the movies we spoke about. If you want to be a part of that newsletter, that's also, all the information is also on our Instagram page. Gosh, we're just really getting there, aren't we? Have a great week, my darlings. We'll be back as usual next Thursday. Until then, I should have a sign off ready. I don't even know. Just be rad. Just don't be a dickhead. Just be a good non-dickhead, dramatic, spicy, awesome, caring, flamboyant person. Just be Lady Gaga, basically. Bye, guys.
Emsolation with Em Rusciano is a Spotify exclusive podcast hosted by Em Rusciano with Michael Lucas. Executive produced by Benjamin Wasley. Produced by Em Rusciano. Edited by Ezekiel Fan at Entente Music. With videos by Liam O'Brien. Socials by Marcella Rusciano Barrow. With assistance from Jem Evans and Georgia Watts. Plus occasional technical wizardry, wine and coffee from Em M's dad Vincey. Get more Emsolation by following the Emsolation podcast on Instagram, where you can also sign up for our weekly newsletter. You can join other Emsolators at the Emsolation group on Facebook. The answer is Harry Styles. If you love what we do, share this podcast with a friend and make sure you're following us on the Spotify app. Thanks for taking time out to listen to this week's episode, and we look forward to chatting with you again soon.